Party. The president also floating an idea to give an additional $3 billion in Harvard grants to trade schools instead. Joining me now is CUNY law professor Jeffrey Lachs. Professor, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Do you think these cuts are going to work? Are they going to stop extremism and anti-Semitism on American campuses, on Harvard's campus?
Well, don't get me wrong. I love what the president is doing. No president has ever had an idea like this and gone so out of the box. He's thinking really out of the box. He's bringing attention to it, and he is hurting Harvard. But the issue is he's just hurting Harvard and Columbia and a couple of others. The way to really go about this, in my opinion, is to talk to Linda McMahon, sit down with the 19 accrediting agencies across the country and talk to them about how all these universities, not just Harvard, but so many across the country, are violating the basic accreditation standards. They should lose their accreditation because they have an overwhelming duty to protect students, to allow them to get an education unfettered, unharassed, and they're not doing that.
Well, how are they abusing this, and how are they not following the standards? Tell us what they need to do specifically.
By allowing these, and they are Marxist Islamists, they're not just Islamist rallies. We are now seeing with Elias Rodriguez, his ties were to Marxist groups, Answer, and also PSL, not to Islamist groups. That's an amazing and stunning revelation, because it shows what I've been ringing the bell about this for years, that there is a Marxist tie to all of this. Because the only thing they have in common, the Islamist groups and the Marxist groups, is that they want to bring down America. That's it. So what he really needs to do is have the accrediting bodies oversee, keep students safe. They have a duty under accreditation guidelines. Every accrediting body has this, that they have to allow students to get an education free of interference, harassment, and certainly, we've seen violence on these campuses. Students attacked. At Harvard, a Jewish student was physically attacked.
Disgusting. And, I think, I know, and everybody knows I'm a hawk on what the behavior has been out of the Chinese Communist Party, but I think this Marxism, this thread raging through universities coming from Communist China.
And I see this on the ground. I work with these people. They are crazy. When they meet at union meetings, they call each other comrade, and they're not joking.
Wow.
They are dyed-in-the-wool, real, live Marxists. They celebrate Marx's birthday on social media. We have all the evidence of this on our campus. I look these guys every day, and I work with them.
Holy moly.
They are horrible people. And they want the worst things, not just for Jews, for America.
They want to take down America.
Yes.
Absolutely. Jeff, you mentioned 19 accredited agencies. Why is there not only one? Why are we not going under one policy in the U.S.?
Well, that's a little bit above my pay grade, but I can tell you it's regional. Yeah. So Middle States is the one that accredits the body of my university here in the Northeast, but I do believe it's mostly regional.
Well, the deadly shootings of 2 Israeli embassy students last week in Washington, leading to calls for Washington to crack down on anti-Semitism as well. Now it's hitting Washington. The New York Post editorial board writes this: every registered Democrat who wants to pull the party back from the brink would be wise to take the time to identify and vote against every politician who has the backing of the Democrat Socialists, the Working Families Party, or any other front for the anti-Semitic left. Jeffrey, what about that? How come you don't hear a peep out of the Democrats on this issue?
You have a lunatic running for mayor in New York City, a Democratic Socialist, a Marxist, Mamdani. And by all indications, he's going to get more of the vote than Eric Adams, which is really scary. I mean, Adams is looking like he's going to get 9–10% of the vote. Cuomo, who is rising from the political dead, I mean, who knows what's going to happen in New York? New York has gone crazier and crazier. The fact that Mamdani is in the discussion should be scary, not just for Jews, for every American.
That's incredible, actually. I didn't even think about that. You jump in, Adam.
Yeah, we tend not to focus on that because it seems so local, even if it is New York City and, by my perspective, the capital of the universe. Why is it, do you think, Professor, that Democrats have so embraced such unorthodox and, I would argue, un-American concepts? Even Gavin Newsom has described his own party, the Democratic Party, as completely at odds with everyday Americans. Why have they gone so far left?
Yeah, I think that their voting bloc requires them to work with Marxists. They have no choice anymore. They've lost the Hispanic vote. They've lost a good deal of the black vote. They've lost everyday working Americans. So how do they make up those votes? The only way to do it is to associate with the worst of the worst who make up a huge bloc now, which is these crazy Marxists. It's a horrible reason to do it, but that's what's happening.
What about stopping this whole process of the student visa and looking at it? Is this going to help?
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. I think that's a great thing to do. It should be done across the board, and it could be done also with the DOE in conjunction with this accreditation idea that I'm suggesting.
And do you feel that any university out there is doing it right? I mean, is there a model that you see in terms of handling these issues better?
That's a great. No one's asked me that question ever. That's a phenomenal question. There is a
You're not
Jewish.
sure.
There's a Jewish university, Yeshiva University. Rabbi Dr. Ari Berman.
Yeah, he's been on the show. He's been on the show.
Go! I didn't realize that.
He's
He's
been on this program.
phenomenal.
We spoke with him a couple of weeks ago.
He's phenomenal. I love what he's doing. He's doing a lot of great things. But the fact that it has to be a Jewish university, that's not the future. We have to fix this, obviously, on a bigger scale.
All right, Jeffrey, it's great to have you this morning. Thank you,
so much.
Professor. We'll be watching your work. Jeffrey Lax from CUNY. Quick break, and then another blue state wants to prioritize illegal